They're going to see what, not only to get back there for the 13th, but to keep himself on tour. Huge frame, this.
Well, of all the matches, this one stood out when you looked down the list of the head-to-heads that were destined to come before we found out the identity of the 16 qualifiers to join the 16 top seeds in the big draw. This was the one. Two great mates, one fighting. I take it you'll be waking up tomorrow morning, Hendo, to listen to the draw. You can stay in bed, tune in on your phone, 25 to 9. Will you be listening?
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Be fascinating to see which of the players we've been watching.
And he beat him 10-7 on Judgment Day back in 2018. But this isn't 10-7. This one has gone the full distance. And what a great start.
Perry's got a lot of interesting ideas. He's sort of an elder statesman. Obviously, Mark Davis has been around even longer. So I think it's very hard for people to have favourites, but let's just see what transpires here. Perry with the first chance. And they're both professionals. The friendship has to be set aside. Mark Davis was very candid in that interview we saw with him. He knows that Joe's got a job to do.
And in a weird way, Dave, the harder Joe tries, the more respect it shows he's got for Mark as a person and as a player.
Yeah, of course, yeah, absolutely. You've got to just forget about any dynamic that there is and focus on what you're doing.
One of my favourite Mark Davis stories goes back to 2012. I'd forgotten actually until I checked the dates on Q Tracker that it was 11 years ago when he made a run to the semis of the UK, and he'd promised his family, I think they were going to the theatre in London or to a Christmas pantomime, and he'd booked it months in advance, thinking there was absolutely no chance he'd be involved in semi-final Saturday at the Barbican. And I think he did a few interviews having secured his place in the semis, and the theatre or pantomime were contacted, and they gave him free tickets for a date of his choice. So he did eventually get to go. But just such a self-deprecating story. I might as well book it for that last Saturday before Christmas. There's no way I'll be in the UK Champs semi-finals, and he was.
That's a typical sort of snooker player, down-to-earth story, isn't it? That's why these guys are so relatable. Now then, Perry's got one more loose red, and then the big shot in this frame could be the split. Oh, but first of all, Joe, you've got to pop the black. So that was the first chance, and it's ending on 19.
Wow, he looks so confident at the table, waiting for the big split to come. Davis with a chance now.
Well, if he can get high on the blue, well, first of all, he's got to pop the red. Oh, well, this was kind of inevitable, wasn't it? You know, after 18 frames, with everything on the line, clearly the nerves are playing a part. He was looking to get on high on the blue to get into the reds. Perry's trying to get reds open from the red, but he actually just caught the pink in the face. Nothing these two haven't seen before, of course, all the years they've been playing. 63 years combined professional experience between them. Now then, this is a good chance to get them into play. I think he's got one to left middle.
8.
So he's already a few in front here. How many will he be in front by the time he leaves the table is the question. Will it be enough? So he's got
18.
At least 3 more, maybe 4 more possible reds here. It's going to be particularly disappointing for Mark Davis if he exits like this. He had that one chance, he missed the red to left corner. Is that going to be his only chance in this huge frame for him?
Class response by Joe Perry, wasn't it, to Mark Davis producing 2 big single visits to get himself to within 1 of the winning line. Could have been very, very edgy for Joe. He's got himself back into contention and in with a great chance of securing a 17th appearance at the Crucible, 24 years after his first. But it's not over yet.
No, he's in that position where he's not got that much more to do, but still has got to do it. Oh, playing the cannon, and he's missed the black, so Mark Davis gets his chance as a red.
There was a real confidence to the way Joe Perry was walking around that table, but there is another twist.
Well, he's close to this pink, but he can just sort of jab it in, I think. How are you feeling, though? I mean, it's you know, it's painful in a way to watch, and we're not obviously down there. He's got to be careful of the push shot on Olivier Martial, keeping watch. Clean hit. Pink in. Where's it going then? Where's the pink going? Is it going on the black spot? Okay, it goes on its own spot, but he can still get the cue through here.
7.
My palms are getting sweaty here in the commentary box. Tension emanating all across the English Institute of Sport, as it has been doing for the last 2 days. This is Judgment Day Part 2, coming to a dramatic conclusion. Mark Davis, one visit away from potentially keeping his place on tour. Not enough prize money to jump into the top 64, but there is the new rule, the recent rule change, that if you make it through qualification and to the Crucible, irrespective of how low down you are on the rankings, you have earned yourself another crack on tour. All or nothing now for Davis.
A chance that might not have come, but it's in his hands, and that's the thing. It's up to him now. All the experience he has, can he stay calm? It's impossible to shut out what it means, but he's got to just try and do the simple things properly as he looks to claw back this deficit in the decider.
50.
10-8 against Michael Georgiou, 10-8 against Liu Heo Chan, and it could be 10-9 against Joe Perry. 55 frames of snooker to save his career.
Well, I like that shot. He's got all the reds in play. So it's about nerve now. It's about keeping cool. All these things that are easy to say sat here, and we're not cool, actually. We're as involved in this as anybody. He's got to do it down there on the table. Golden chance.
22.
Think of all the players who turned pro in '91, and indeed since, who have dropped off, who've fallen away. Mark Davis proudly has been going on tour for 32 years. He's had highs, he's had lows. Bottom line is he doesn't want it to end yet.
28.
This is one of the most important single visits to a table of his entire career. Thousands upon thousands of hours of practice and match play. And this is it.
35. 36.
Well, he looks calm enough, doesn't he? How he's feeling, we'll maybe find out afterwards if he wins. But he seems to me just focusing on the table. That's what, on the balls in front of him, and not the occasion. If he doesn't do it now, he'll wonder how, won't he? This is about as good a chance as you could ask for. He needs up to and including the pink for victory.
43.
To become the oldest qualifier since Steve Davis in 2010, and of course, most importantly, to stay on the tour. 3 balls to go.
We hope you're enjoying this coverage. What a climax to 2 scintillating days at the English Institute of Sport. Can he do it?
He's just come slightly wrong side of this blue. This pink is going to be a little tougher than he would have liked. So this ball is the one. He's been playing professional snooker for 32 years. This is one of the biggest shots of his life. And he's missed it, or has he? Has he missed it? Oh, wow, wow, wow.
Mark Davis, 55.
Can't you believe that?
Hearts in mouths. You have got to feel so sorry for him. It wasn't easy. It was mid-range. There was so much pressure on it, and the drama continues. We're ringing every drop out of Judgment Day Part 2. That was hard to believe, and then you thought he'd flipped it in the other pocket.
It's going to be a black ball finish, isn't it? So here we are, 10 days of qualifying, 2 Judgment Days, and the last match is down to the last ball, and it's going to be Joe Perry with the first crack at the black. And he's potted it, and it's Joe Perry who goes to the Crucible. He's beaten his great friend.